The American ethos is profoundly rooted in the dream of home ownership when it comes to housing. Nevertheless, the financial benefits of home ownership are not universally favorable, despite its pervasive appeal. Renting, which is frequently overshadowed by the allure of property ownership, can provide a variety of compelling benefits that render it a more financially astute and practical alternative for a significant number of individuals. Renting offers an appealing alternative to the conventional concept of accumulating equity through home ownership, as it circumvents the unpredictable expenses of maintenance and repairs and the substantial initial costs of a down payment. In the ever-changing housing market of today, renting is distinguished by its capacity to offer financial stability and flexibility. Renters are protected from the fluctuation of property values and the exorbitant expenses of real estate taxes, while they have access to amenities that would be prohibitively costly for homeowners. The budgeting process is simplified and more predictable due to the fixed nature of rent payments and the generally reduced costs of insurance and utilities. Renting not only fulfills these requirements, but also provides a practical route to a more balanced and manageable lifestyle for the individuals who prioritize financial predictability, mobility, and a simplified living experience. Many Americans consider home ownership to be a lifelong aspiration. However, this does not necessarily imply that it is feasible for all. Despite the current high incidence of home ownership in the United States, this has not always been the case. Throughout history, families have been compelled to either construct their residences or rent one from another individual. While renting may not be the most desirable option, it does have its benefits. For certain individuals, renting may be a more financially viable option. We possess one of the primary benefits of renting as opposed to purchasing a residence. There are no maintenance or repair expenses. One of the advantages of renting a property is that there are no maintenance or repair expenses. This implies that the proprietor is entirely accountable for all maintenance, repairs, and improvements when you rent a property. If an appliance malfunctions or your roof begins to flood, you must notify your landlord, who is obliged to repair or replace the issue. Conversely, homeowners are accountable for all expenses associated with home repair, maintenance, and renovation. It can be quite expensive, depending on the nature of the task and whether multiple projects arise simultaneously. Access to amenities. Another financial advantage of renting is the ability to access amenities that would otherwise be prohibitively expensive. Many mid-scale to upscale apartment complexes include amenities such as a fitness center or an in-ground pool as part of the standard package without any additional payment from occupants. A householder would probably be required to allocate thousands of dollars for installation and maintenance to access these amenities. Condo residents are also subject to these expenses. These expenses are included in the monthly fees of their homeowners association. There are no real estate taxes. Renters are exempt from property taxes, which is one of the primary advantages of renting as opposed to possessing. Real estate taxes can be a significant expense for homeowners and are subject to change by county. Property taxes can cost thousands of dollars annually in certain regions. Even though property tax calculations can be intricate, they are determined by the estimated property value of the house and the quantity of land on which it is constructed. Property taxes can be a substantial financial burden for homeowners as new constructions continue to expand. There is no initial payment required. The upfront cost is another area in which residents have a more favorable financial situation. In general, tenants are required to submit a security deposit that's equivalent to 1 month's rent. Additionally, this is typically the extent of the matter. Periodically, this deposit is returned to them upon their departure, provided that they have not caused any damage to the rental property. According to Illinois State Bar Association, a security deposit typically is a substantial down payment of approximately 20% of the property's valuation, which is required when purchasing a home with a mortgage. Naturally, the down payment generates equity in the property, which continues to rise as the mortgage is progressively paid off. Additionally, a resident that is owned free and clear is a valuable investment that renters are unable to acquire. However, the sum required for a down payment on a property is considerably greater than a rental security deposit. Renting is preferable for individuals who lack the funds to make a down payment. Greater freedom in choosing a residence. Renters are not restricted to any specific location, whereas homeowners are constrained to areas where they can afford to purchase a property. Residence in an expensive city like New York may be beyond the financial capabilities of the majority of the home buyers. However, it's wholly feasible for renters. In regions where home values are also high, renters are more likely to secure a monthly payment that's affordable than home buyers, even though rents can be costly. There are a few concerns regarding the decline in property value. Property values fluctuate. Although homeowners may significantly be impacted by this, tenants are significantly less affected, if at all. The amount of property taxes you pay and the amount of your mortgage can be influenced by the value of your residence. Renters may not be as susceptible to the effects of a turbulent housing market as homeowners. The ability to downsize. After their tenancy, tenants are permitted to relocate to more cost-effective accommodations. This type of adaptability is particularly critical for retirees who desire a more affordable, compact alternative that aligns with their financial constraints. The fees associated with purchasing and selling a property render it significantly more challenging to exit an expensive residence. Additionally, if a householder has allocated a substantial sum of money to renovations, the selling price may not adequately compensate for these expenses, rendering them unable to sell and relocate. Rent with a fixed amount. The rent payment is fixed for the duration of lease agreement. You can budget more effectively by knowing the amount of rent you're obliged to pay, even though landlords can increase the rent without notice. The same is true for householders who have fixed-rate mortgages, which also facilitates efficient budgeting. However, adjustable-rate mortgages are susceptible to fluctuations, which frequently lead to increased mortgage payments as a consequence of increased interest rates. Renters are not affected by property taxes, which are another variable that can increase costs for householders. Reduced insurance costs. Although landowners are required to maintain a homeowner's insurance policy, renters are required to maintain a renter's insurance policy. This type of policy is significantly less expensive and provides coverage for nearly all the personal property, such as computer, furniture, and valuables. According to a study conducted by the Insurance Information Institute, the average annual cost of the renter's insurance is $179, while the average annual cost of homeowner's insurance is $1,249. Reduced utility expenses. Homes are generally larger than rental residences, even though their sizes can fluctuate. Consequently, they are more expensive to heat and may incur higher electric expenses. Rented properties are generally more cost-effective to heat and power than many homes due to their more compact and efficient floor plans. There are numerous reasons why renting a residence may be a more advantageous financial decision than purchasing one. In contrast to homeowners, renters are not subject to property taxes, repair bills, or maintenance expenses. Additionally, they have access to amenities such as fitness centers and pools, which would be expensive to construct and maintain in a private residence. Furthermore, renters are spared the substantial initial expense of a down payment and are afforded the flexibility to select their residence and downsize effortlessly when necessary. In contrast to the fluctuating expenses and the investment risks associated with home ownership, renting offers a more predictable and manageable financial situation due to the fixed rent amounts and generally reduced insurance and utility costs. In summary, renting can provide substantial financial benefits in comparison to owning a residence, particularly for individuals who prioritize cost management and flexibility. Renters avoid the high upfront costs of down payment, are not responsible for maintenance and repair expenses, and benefit from predictable rent payments and lower insurance and utility costs. The ability to access amenities without additional costs and the freedom to move easily or downsize as needed further enhance the appeal of renting. Furthermore, tenants are less susceptible to market fluctuations, including declining property values, and they spare themselves the financial risks that are associated with home ownership. Although home ownership can be a rewarding objective for many, renting is a practical and frequently more manageable alternative for individuals who wish to optimize their financial situation and appreciate a more adaptable lifestyle. If you found this story eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights and updates. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video.